Hello, welcome to Needful Things again. Today we're going to work on these squares. I'm using a J hook so you can see the stitches better. Here it is in two colors. These are giant puff sort of stitches. Here it is in solid. And I think I did this one with a magic ring, which means the center is a lot tighter. You see, this one's more open. Also because I used the J hook. If you use a smaller hook, the center will close up more. Here it is in purple. But I mean, it's okay to have the center because you have all the open spaces everywhere. So, and here it is in gold and green. You can see the stitches really well there. Okay. So today I'm going to do it in the gold and green. This is a smaller hook, but I'm going to use a little bit larger one. I'm going to use this J hook so you can see it. I'm going to do this one using the chain. So we're going to do 5 chains. Yarn over, go back in all of our stitches. We're going to do 8 double crochets with a chain stitch in between each one, and they're all going to go in the very first chain that we did. So we'll go in, make a double crochet, and we did 5 there, so we already have the extra chain there. Chain, and we're doing them all in that stitch, double crochets. We're doing 8 of them. Don't forget the chain stitch in between each double crochet. I better count. 6, 7, chain, 8, and that the first chain section, the first 3 of it counts as our first double crochet. So we have our 8 stitches. We'll chain 1, and then we'll go into that third stitch, 1, 2, 3, and just pull your slip stitch through and chain 1. Okay, and that's what you'll have, a little circle. Now we're going to do row 2. Yarn over, and we're going to go in that chain, the 3 chains there at the beginning of the first row, and we're going to pull up our puff stitch. We're going to go 1, pull it up real tall, 2, and 3, and then pull it through all the loops with 2 left, yarn over, and pull that through, and that's our big old puff stitch. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, yarn over. In the next double crochet, we have that space in between. We're going to skip that. In the next one, we're going to do the same thing, a big old puff stitch, 1, 2, and 3. Pull it through, close it up. Now we're not going to do chains. In that same space between there and the next double crochet, there's that space. We're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Then we're up to our next double crochet. And so we're going to yarn over and do a big old puff stitch there. 1, 2, and 3. Pull it through. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over. Skip that space, go into the next double. Make a big old puff stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Close it up. Okay, now in that space between that puff and the next double, we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over. On the next double post, we're going to do a big old fat puffy post stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Close it up. Chain 3. Okay, we're going to skip that space there. We're going to go here and make a puff stitch on the next double. 1, 2, and 3. Close it up. Okay. And in that next space, yarn over in the space between the puff and the next double. We're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Yarn over. On our next double stitch there, we're going to do a giant puffy. 1, 2, and 3. Close it up. That's the middle of there. Now we're going to do chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're not putting anything in the space. We're going into this next double crochet and doing our giant puffy over the post. 1, 2, and 3. Finish it off. And now we're here. And so what we're going to do here is in the top of the puff stitch right here is right here. That's where you're going to put your hook and pull through a slip stitch. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. I'm looking at it going, what are you doing? We're going to do 3 double crochets, in that space. 1, 2, and 3. Like that. So we have our 4 corners there, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll have the petals here and here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 little petals. We've done the last 3 double crochets in that space between there. We're going to go into that first one. Close it up. I was ready to close it up early, wasn't I? I've been crocheting all day. Let's see. I like to shape my pieces so I know what I'm doing. Get your little square out there, and there's what we've done so far. We've done this piece here. Now we're going to do, I believe it's the 3rd row. And on this row, I'm going to switch to my green yarn, which is probably not good. It's going to be harder to see it. But I really want a contrast, so I'm going to do it. Against my better judgment, because I don't know if you'll be able to see it as good. But so I'm just going to cut my yarn. Secure that end, I'm going to go into that space. I'm going to put a slip stitch on my hooky. And I'm going to go into that chain space right here. Doesn't matter which one really. I'm going to do a slip stitch, 1, 2, and 3. That's going to count as a double crochet. Then I'm going to do 2 more double crochets. Then I'm going to chain 2. And that's what I've done so far, and I'm doing it all in that corner chain space. Then I'm going to do 3 more double crochets in that chain space. 1, 2, and 3. And this is annoying me, so I'm just going to cut this little extra piece of thread here. Or yarn, it's not thread. So there's what we've done so far. 3 double crochets, 2 chains, 3 double crochets in the corner chain space. Okay, now what I want you to do is yarn over. Because you can't really, well, you sort of can see it. We're doing this row right here, but you really can't see under there. But we're going to do 5 double crochets. And I want you to pull that back, pull this back a little bit, your corner, because there is that first stitch is right there and you have to uncover it. Okay? And do 1 double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've just, let me see if I can show you on here where we are. It's hard to see, but we just did this, we're just to the corner, and then we pulled it back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll be to the next corner. Okay? So we got that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're in the next corner. We'll do 3 double crochets. Two chains. 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Pull it back so you can see that first stitch right there. Put a double crochet in that first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we're up to the next corner. So we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. 2 chains, chain 1, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Pull it back so you can see that first stitch right there. Put a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're up to the next corner. we'll do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. 2 chains, 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Pull that back so you can get that first stitch. Put a double crochet there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we put a slip stitch in our third chain. 1, 2, 3. Close that row. Chain 1. I like to give it a little stretch so it takes its shape. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this yarn. Got my gold back to finish off my last row. Put me a little chainy doohickey slip stitch in there. This whole row is going to be single crochets. And what I'm going to do here is we're going to put a stitch in the very first stitch. We already have that loop there. So I'm just going to take that out. And close me up. Oops, sorry, I meant to close it up with the new color. Where's my stitch? I'm just going to pull my gold through there, right here. And do my slip stitch with that. Give that one green one a little tug there. Chain 1. Just to anchor it. Okay, and then right in that same stitch, we're going to do the first stitch there. A single crochet. 1. Where we are now, let me see if I can show you. Maybe you can see this one. So we're on this row right here. Okay. So we're going to do, we have that little first section, we're going to do 2 single crochets and then we'll be to the corner. Just a little bit tighter. Okay. So there's our first stitch. Whoops, look at me trying to do a double. Single crochet, single crochet, and we're at the corner. That's 1, 2. Now we're at our corner, so we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. Then we're going to chain 2. 2 more single crochets in the same chain space in the corner. 1 and 2. Like that. Now we're going to, we have, this will be our middle stitch right here. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do 5 stitches in here. Pull it back so you can get that first stitch in there. It's the same way as the other one. It's just a little bit harder to get to with singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like that. Now we're at the 6th stitch. So we're going to yarn over. And on the 6th one, in the middle of the 3 in the row below, in the row down here, this gold row, I think it's the 2nd row, we're going all the way down to that double crochet, So pull your yarn up and go under that post, and we're going to pull up a giant puffy. So pull your yarn, keep it tight, keep it held on your hook with your finger 3 times, just like the other ones. Pull it up, pull it through, and there is what we just did. Okay, so now that means on the other side of it we have 5 stitches to get to the corner. Single crochets, if you want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're at the corner where we'll do 2 singles, 2 chains, 2 singles. Make sure you pull that work back to get that first stitch. Get that single in that very first stitch, pull the work back to get it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 singles. We just did that corner. Okay, so now we're to the 6th stitch, so we're going to drop down, yarn over, drop down to that single in the middle. I mean that double. 1, 2, 3, pull it as up as high as you can get it, and then close off your stitch. Then do your 5 singles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count in to make sure you have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're at the corner, so we'll do 2 singles, 2 chains, 2 singles, whoops, 1 and 2. Now we're going to go 5 stitches in, pull that back so you can get the first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I like to always, I like to give everything a stretch. That way because I don't like blocking. I really don't. So I like to give my things to make sure they stretch out right before I do anything else. So now we're on that puff stitch. Pull over a yarn over. Go into that double crochet. Pull up your long stitches for your puff stitch 3 times. Yarn over, pull through all the loops, 2 on the hook, yarn over, pull it through 2. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches here, 5 single crochets, and 5. We're at the corner, so we'll do 2 single crochets, 2 chains, 2 singles, okay, now pull it back so you can get that first stitch there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to do our last giant puff stitch. So yarn over, go down to that stitch below, and that, not this, the row right below you, but the next one. Pull up under that big double crochet, pull that yarn up, 1, 2, and 3. Close it off. And we did 2 stitches already there, okay? So we have, and that, we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right here. So this would be 1, 2. That double chain count, the chain counts as a single there, so we're just gonna close it off right here, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That counts as your single there. We're going to cut this thread, yarn. I keep calling it thread, sorry. I've also been sewing. And let me just pull this out of the way. I'm just going to tie these. I would sew them in if I was going to use it in something. And then I'm just going to cut those. And here we are with our beautiful little square motif. I really don't think of these as granny squares, because granny squares aren't made this way. They're just square, but they always have 3 stitches, 3 stitches, 3 stitches. This is more like a mandala. But here's my square, and I hope you enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to make. It's very quick and easy. It may not seem like it, but after you make several of them, it will seem very easy. So enjoy it. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing, and please watch and like and comment.